Hello, everyone. Our friends, today we need to share something very difficult. Um, some of you may know that we lost not just a fan of this podcast, but we lost family. Many of you knew her as Cosmic Space Mom. You saw her in the chats, you heard us talk about her, and you know how we always made a big deal whenever she popped up to say hello. She was sweet, she was feisty, she was always a joy to talk to and interact with. And she was not just a supporter of the Captain's Quadrant, she was the supporter. She was our cheerleader. She was the den mother to this group of idiots that try to entertain you once a week talking about Star Trek. And most importantly, she was Captain Joe's dear, sweet mother. So, on behalf of myself and VHS Jace, we want to express our deepest condolences to Joe and his family. We are so deeply grateful for every moment we got to share with Cosmic Space Mom, and we will carry out her spirit every time we get together and transmit our thoughts about Star Trek out into the ether. And so, Cosmic Space Mom, thank you. We love you. And we'll see you somewhere out there. And hello, my friends. Oh my God, what is he doing here?
I told this is a bad idea, dude. This is a bad.
Teddy, who let Jace in?
See, he's already started.
I told you to lock the door. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Captain's Quadrant. I forgot which show.
The reason I left the show once before is because of this thing. And now I've got to be back on the show with him.
Okay, I do the show with him full time. I would appreciate you not saying that. Anyway, welcome back to the Captain's Quadrant, your home for Star Trek thoughts by older men who should really get off the internet, at least according to our comments. I am Jason Roy Gaston. I'm in the captain's chair today. Look at me. I am the captain now. With me, VHS Jace and Teddy, the world's most adorable Star Trek pooch. Teddy, stop.
You can't say that, dude.
What do you mean 6
This is going to be a problem, dude.
My God. Okay, wait. Oh. Okay, this show's all about IDIC, all right? Infinite diversity and infinite combinations. You cannot be coming up here talking about taking guns away from them. And I don't even know where you even came up with that idea. Jeez. You can't.
And that's just racist.
Oh, God.
I don't know what we're going to do.
I'm speechless. You know what?
Can we just get on with the show?
Yeah, let's get into let's get into First Contact. How about that?
Thanks.
So here Teddy has transmogrified.
We've got our real guest here.
We have a Tuvix situation, ladies and gentlemen. Tuvix. We've made a Tuvix. Ladies and gentlemen, our special guest star this week, My Figure Universe, here to talk about the Star Trek Strange New Worlds episode Terrarium. And at this point, Joe would say the synopsis, please, Jason, if you would. And therefore, the synopsis, please, Jason, if you would.
What? I clicked it. I thought you were talking to me.
I clicked it too. Stop clicking things. I'm the host. Yeah. In Terrarium, this week's second to last episode of Star Trek Strange New World, Erica Ortegas finds herself lost at sea when she crash lands on a deadly toxic moon. With no way to contact the Enterprise, her chances of survival are slim. Just like Spock, who keeps his weight between 1.9 kilograms. And I got to say, that's very impressive because I eat meals that are over 1.9 kilograms.
Yeah, so, there you go.
I'm going to throw it to our esteemed guest star
Oh,
today,
sure.
My Figure Universe. Please tell.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? My Figure
Not
Universe
well.
here.
Not well. My Figure Universe, please tell us what you thought of Terrarium.
Well, first of all, I'm going to tell you this. I can't say I can't say that word either. So
I can say it. It's penultimate. I just thought it would be funny. I just thought it'd be funny to
try it with an Australian accent. Penultimate.
Penultimate.
There you go. You got it. Yeah, you just need the Australian. Sweet.
By Jove, I think he's got it.
I think I'm going to do the entire interview like this. Anyway.
Oh no! Don't push it. No.
Do it.
I don't want to be racist like Teddy. I don't want to be racist like Teddy and get beamed out of here. But no, it was a great episode.
It's not racist to make fun of Australians. It's expected.
Oh well, here's the thing: if you make fun of an Australian, does it go down the wrong way, backwards? I don't know.
It does come backwards with just. You know what? This is it. We put up with you guys. We just invite you to come visit Australia. There's a reason why our animals are interesting.
And larger than usual.
Yep. We just make some visitors disappear occasionally. That's all.
I
what
would
happens when you get
love
mouthy?
to come to Australia. We need to start a fundraiser for that.
Yes, absolutely. One-way ticket. Look, this poor guy's about to tell us how great this episode is. I think we need to shut the F up and let our guest tell us how amazing this episode was. And
exactly, My Figure Universe. I apologize for VHS Jace. Please continue.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Be kind. Please rewind. I absolutely loved this episode. I thought it was great. The thing was, I'm not going to skip ahead to the end, but I will say this: I had thoughts. Like I kept thinking, oh, okay, it's going to be the Gorn, and then it was, and then I'm thinking, oh, it's Enemy Mine, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm good with this as long as Dennis Quaid doesn't show up. I'm fine. And then the ending, which I'm not going to go to now, but I'm going to say that I never really thought. I was like, no, there's no way that was in my mind. No, I loved it. 4 stars. 4 stars.
VHS Jace, what did you think of it?
Look, I'll put it out there. It is for me the best episode of this season. However, if you've been listening to my opinion, that's not the highest bar in the world to cross. Listen, it's Enemy Mine meets the arena, right? Like that's essentially what it is. So, I have to come and accept the fact that the genre focus that they have is more important than the plot. However, they did write a really good episode. I think what the strength of this episode is finally we get Gorn. The intelligence side of Gorn being dealt with, which I think is fantastic. We actually, first time ever, I think, in this series, we get a real good sense of their intelligence. And the fact that they might actually have empathy and understanding. I also love the fact that they wrote the fact that humans are kind of dumb in comparison because they can understand us, but we can't understand them, which I think is a delightful little thing. It shows the fact they are, again, smarter. I love the fact that the rest of the crew on the Enterprise were just doing Star Trek stuff. I didn't have to worry about emotions and feelings and relationships, any of that. They were just doing their job. And because of that as the B plot. And then you've got the stuff on the planet, which magically has an atmosphere, apparently. Can we just try a little bit with the science, guys? Just a little bit. That would be great. But besides those kind of nitpicks,
the ship moves around thanks to magic space crystals. I think.
but you buy into that because they attempt to give you a pseudoscience backing to it. So when they attempt most of their Star Trek's existence to give you some sort of reality with this technobabble, things like that are really obvious. It's like, huh? What do you mean? Like, even in Star Trek world, there would be an atmosphere.
I have to pretty much agree with everything you said. I think my opinion of the episode is I think my opinion of the episode is higher than yours. Yes, it was a derivative plot, but at the same time, I think that it was wonderfully written. I think that it was beautiful to look at. And Melissa Nava gives an absolute powerhouse of a performance because this is basically Ortegas's one-woman show. and then there's a Muppet. Uh, and I am also very, very happy that we got a Gorn who was not just, also I have a spaceship. As a matter of fact, I wanted to highlight the Gorn intelligence in this clip, if you don't mind me playing.
Yeah, please do.
Yes, a very good sequence, and I hope we don't get flagged for this. We'll see.
Not exactly a universal translator, but better than nothing. It should give yes or no responses.
Lizard, 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 lizard. Lizard, lizard.
And
great.
still,
I love that you made her racist, basically, in a way, didn't you? Just made her racist.
and
She's
still better
enjoying
writing
that.
than 4.5 Vulcans. Still better writing. No,
Very funny.
but yeah, I
Love it.
really enjoyed this episode. I kind of think it would have been better without the Metrons in it at the end, because that just seemed weird. It just seemed weird for them to come out. They weren't needed.
No,
And
but
the whole,
that's a-
the whole question of Ortega screaming at the end, why, would have been so much better if they just beamed her up and just not even had it. And the fact that they said, yeah, we're going to erase your memory so you won't remember any of it. Okay, bye. It means that it means nothing to anybody. So it wasn't needed. What we had there, the enemy mine parody that they did was perfectly fine. All we needed, as Jay said to me a couple of days ago, was we just needed a little baby for Ortegas to raise once she got back to the Enterprise, and it would have been enemy mine all over again.
Yeah, it would have been good. And then,
it would have been quite good. But yes, high
we
marks
kind of
for
have
me.
the second version of Brian Bonsall, little Klingon. We could have just followed a little Gorn going around.
Mummy.
Send him,
Mummy,
yeah, you imagine the trouble he gets into at school.
I spit acid into Sam Kirk's face, and now Captain Pike says I can't come to the bridge anymore. Don't worry, baby. I'll take care of that. Don't
have
ever
we
speak to me
confirmed
or my
whether or not-
scaly son again.
Have we confirmed whether or not Ortegas has any Russian parents to leave the kid with?
Yeah.
She's gonna okay.
Yeah.
She's got.
And could she be a
she's got
bad
Latin
enough parent?
All right. No, she's got Latin parents. They could handle it. They could throw. a
They
taunt
care
in their
about
face
people.
and just say, "Shut
Yeah.
up, Greg. Be quiet. Don't you run from Mama. You come back."
They undersell Ortega. She definitely has the ability to be as awful parent as Worf was.
Oh, absolutely.
She totally got that capability.
It's not a very high bar.
She can send it to go live with Beto.
There
Go
you
live
you
with
go.
Uncle Beto.
He's a
And
terrible.
if things
the
happen to
lizard-
Beto, who cares? That's right.
And then
Who
the
cares?
lizard calls back in a couple of weeks, go, "Hi, Mama, I ate Uncle Beto." Damn it. Okay. Let me see if I got any other relatives I don't
Hey.
like.
One of the special moments I think of this episode was the games. I reckon that was my favorite scene. Them playing chess and then playing the Gorn game, which I thought was amazing. But I got quickly annoyed because, I've complained about this constantly about Star Trek stealing old ideas for the new show. Because I'm pretty sure we've had board games before with Gorn. Well, I don't know. I remember owning this game.
Oh,
but,
yeah, Gornopoly.
Gornopoly, that's right, by Milton Bradley. So for them to steal that idea again, I just think that was poor writing. No, my favourite scene, in all seriousness, that was my favourite scene because it showed it was the connective tissue between them. It was the thing that broke that communication issue, and they kind of found bond together in that moment. I thought it was great. I thought it was she gave her career, like in this show. Melissa Navia gave her best performance ever as Ortegas in this episode, I reckon.
I completely
Agreed.
agree. This was
The only other problem I would say, though, just before, sorry, mate, the only thing I also wanted to say is I wish this episode was closer to the actual episode where she got skewered. Because there was too many episodes of not dealing with this. I kind of wish this was like episode 5 or something. It was closer. So we were still focused in on her trauma. And then this would have been her trying to overcome her trauma. But that's
Wait
it.
a second.
I'll shut up now.
Wait a second. Are you saying that this was
mistakes that I've made in my life, that is number one. Making that clip is the worst thing I've ever done. Sorry, go on.
I'd say
Well
it's definitely
timed.
up there. Let's go see what's happening in the chat. So, saying hello to all of our friends out there first, a message of condolences from
Thank you.
Giuseppe Savino Josie, expressing her most sincere condolences to Joe on the loss of his mother. Our hearts are with him tonight. It's
Yep.
just not the same without him. Greg and Holly also sending love,
Wonderful.
as well as he's here. Hi, Joe.
Yep.
Love you,
There we
man.
go. Yeah,
you.
man. Love you. There you go.
Wes, rest
See
in
how bad
peace,
the show is
Dove.
without you? It's a
Absolutely.
mess.
B-Boxer. Have we ever met B-Boxer before?
I don't know.
Remember. Okay, good evening from Kentucky.
But I like the name. I like the name.
Love it
B-Boxer.
as well. I love it as well. Let's see.
What else?
Got Ray here. Sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
Lots of condolences to
She was such a like. I used to tease Joe and go, Joe, why is your mum being one of your Patreon members? But it goes to show how amazing she was.
Yes.
Like, it's one of the things we have in common, me and Joe, because my mum, who passed away 8 years ago, was very much the same. Super number one supporter. I was the luckiest dude to have an amazing mum. And so I always shared that when I first got contact with Joe, met Joe, and then met his mum. It was that same dynamic. This woman like loved her son like no other, and was a big supporter of the show, which was
she was always in the
she
chat.
was awesome.
It was the thrill of my life when Joe picked me up at the airport whenever I came to New York this last summer. He picked me up in his car. I was crammed in the back seat with his boys, and then his mom calls.
Oh, cool.
And I got to talk to his mom, and I said, "Hey, Cosmic Mom." She goes, "Oh, is that Jason?" That was great. That was great. I
That's
think
wonderful.
my favorite thing I ever did was whenever I went to Japan, I found her a Godzilla shirt.
Oh.
And that was just
You're
like
a Godzilla fan, huh?
Cosmic Mom, a Godzilla shirt.
Yeah. No, she was a wonderful supporter. She's absolutely been missed, So
she will be. Wes Huntington says this is the third such Enemy Mine episode from Star Trek, including Dawn and the Enemy from Star Trek.
Of course,
Generation,
and kind of Darmok.
It was very much Darmok. Yes.
Yes, you could throw that in as a fourth, couldn't you?
Yes.
There is a major difference if you think about it. In Darmok, it was a race we didn't understand, and we didn't know their language. Well, I guess technically we don't know Gorn, but we didn't know who they were. Slight differences.
Yeah.
Oh, this is interesting. So Wes says my wife has been annoying me with the lizard thing. He also says this episode's writer said that the moon in this episode was the same location as Arena, but it's just not there yet. So that means that that rock, the rock in California, is there somewhere.
Okay.
It's nice that Jason and Jace aren't popping blood vessels this week, and I mean, I'm happy about it for your health and well-being.
Look,
well,
thank you, Greg. But it's not perfect. I'm not going to say this episode perfect. And left unleashed, I'm sure I can find some things to complain about.
I got some.
Should have been earlier in the series. We're being agreed.
Well, let's get into that then. Why don't we complain about a couple of things that
Okay, I think that is a perfect idea, and I think that is a perfect thing for Fire.
Fight it well.
Okay, I don't mean to toot my own horn or anything, but
that was a good segue.
I'm a darn good host of the Captain. I'm a darn good host.
Oh God, I'm going to choke. Sorry, I was choking on crap then.
The fact that I'm not host of the show every week is a huge. I'm not going to do it.
That's why you're not the host every week. That's why you're not the host.
All right, thoughts, gentlemen. What are your thoughts? What are your complaints? What are your brain drippings about?
Okay, all right, I want to go with this. I didn't like the last 5 minutes of it. I didn't like the Metron thing. You're right. It could have been skipped. I think that could have been skipped, but thankfully it was not Q. They could have easily have brought that back. I
Hmm.
don't think we needed to have them show up as if this is going to be some sort of experiment that they're like, because I mean, there was that thing, oh, we need to reevaluate, and that's just a
Yeah.
throwaway that we're going to get arena later, and I understand, but it's like, okay, so if this is some sort of, you know, terrarium, and for them to look at their species and test and stuff, I don't know. I think that was bad. I think it was kind of, I didn't like the whole, like, you can have these memories of your relationship, which I guess is good because it could help the future relations with the Gorn. But we need that? I think it could have been, why not wipe it all out? Make it none of it happen. Make none of it matter. I think if none of it mattered, it might have been a better ending. Not that the episode wasn't great, but the ending could have been better if none of it mattered. Only my opinion. Do you?
I think that the episode needed to matter. And I'm glad that the Metrons didn't erase Ortegas' memory. I'm glad that she remembers Lady Gorn, whatever Lady Gorn's name was. But I'm with you. I did not like the fact that the Metrons showed up at the end because it seemed strangely tacked on and just fan service. Just like, hey, look, we did watch the original series. See, it's a Metron.
It's another example of the weakness in the writing. Because
Yeah,
they did write a good episode, but it's the thing is they think that Star Trek fans are going to go, that's amazing. That's profound. Oh my God, they've tied that in. They don't get it. They only see it from that surface level with that scene.
Yes, and I think the episode was missing a scene at the end.
Yep.
I think this episode was missing a scene at the end that it completely needed, and that was Ortegas talking to La'an. La'an shot her friend.
Yeah.
That's your closing moment.
Yeah, it should have been her not really having a confrontation, but it should have been La'an coming in saying, I read your report. I am so sorry. I didn't know. Yeah. And it should have been like, I'm angry with you. It's going to take me a while to get over it. You're still my friend and I still love you, but I need time. And something like that would have been.
That was the
better.
most interesting stuff, wasn't it? The fact that she shot the Gorn instantly. And there should be consequences from that.
The performance there was just outstanding. Just the blood curdling screaming why, and then they stopped everything, and it's like, hey, look, Metrons, shut up. Let us have this human moment of grief without having to interrupt it. I'm sorry, my figure universe. Go ahead.
She would shoot. Back during the documentary episode, because she had said very specifically, you either shoot first or run away, and so her instinct was kill them before they can kill you. And that's all she knows. And she's security. Mm-hmm. If anything, that was great writing because that shows that she is a far superior. She's better than Worf because how many times did Worf get his butt handed to him? She shot first. She protected her people without thinking. That's what she had to do. She did her job. You're right, though. There should have been a conversation. There should have been that. I'm sorry. I am sorry. Maybe not that I didn't know, but I'm sorry, but I did my job. Maybe there could be some strife between them, but we got she's my friend. She was my friend. And that's all we're ever going to get.
Because you are striking at the heart of the two sides of the Federation with that scenario, with the military side and then the, more empathetic kind of discovery, meeting new species, creating good relationships. It comes at, and I think that would have been so interesting to kind of explore that within those two characters. You had the setup for it. I mean, who knows? Maybe they still will, but there's something even bigger there. The problem is they gave us a real baseline attempt at being profound with the Metricons, and it just didn't work. Although I did like their reflective suits. What did I call them? Metricons. You know why I call them?
The
There's a
Metricons.
build.
We are going
Sorry,
to
one
come
of
into
my-
America and force everyone to use meters and kilometers. We are the Metricons.
No, there is a building company here with one of my clients called Metricon Homes. Shout out to Metricon Homes.
Like the
So, yeah,
really
sorry.
lame spinoff of the Transformers.
Yeah. Where like Metricons would then be
Metricon, I
like
saw you
very kind of
coming for
inner
kilometers.
city, very inner city kind of people. You know, a bit metro. They go to the cafe and stuff. That would be a Metricon, I reckon.
I do have one thought about the Metrons that bothered me, and I haven't
Metrons.
said anything to anyone else. If you're going to present
Exclusive.
yourself to look like a human, why do you have freckles? You know, like couldn't the makeup department have taken out the freckles? Just a thought. I mean,
That's honestly like super low on my list of things about
but
the ending.
I'm just saying.
I was just
Yeah,
saying,
it does feel really disjointed, and like I'm surprised it made it to the final cut, that scene, because you could have
Yeah.
just finished it 5 before that. Could have just gone to fade to black, and we would have been done. Would have been out of there.
Sopranos ending.
Yeah. I'm always no, but in the sense of
that'll be the cliffhanger as Laon's in the cafeteria eating food and she looks up and like you see Ortegas enter in the background, it just goes cut to black.
You know how where I would have cut it? You know where I would have cut it? Right after the curling scream. I would have faded to black.
Yeah,
And
maybe
would have
right
left
after
the episode of that. That would have made an emotional impact.
maybe right after she screamed "Why," and you start hearing
Yeah,
the transporter
fade
whine,
to
and
black.
then just
But
cut to black.
The
you still
guttural
hear the
screaming was
transporter.
great.
It was.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this was Melissa Navia's finest performance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
the
it's
flowers that
haunting.
she's getting online for this, and she's been so lovely at reposting everybody, and it's well deserved all the way around.
Absolutely. But yeah, definitely. Again, as Jay said, it's probably not the greatest. Probably not the greatest accolade to say that it's the best episode of the season. But there we are, and it is.
There we
Even
are.
though it does have a very flawed ending, I do think it was a really good episode, and it was.
In a
but it was a really
normal,
good episode.
I think in a normal kind of 22 episode season of Star Trek, you would go, "Oh, that was a good episode." Don't know if it would make the top 5 of anything, but yeah, just because of the nature of
Yeah.
this season, yeah, it's standing tall. And the penultimate episode generally is designed to be the best episode of the season. Generally, shows try to put that before the finale, like the really great episode. So I think it was preordained that they were going to move this because they realized, everything else sucks except for this one. We better make it the penultimate.
Was Masks a second to the last episode of TNG?
Yeah,
that
they
one
would have
was,
thought that was.
That was.
I don't know if that
Preemptive
was
Strike,
actually. I think.
That
it was
one
Preemptive
sucked.
Strike, the one
Yeah.
with Rolar.
Oh, when we get into final episodes
Oh.
with Star Trek Next Generation, we have highs of highs, and we definitely have lows of lows.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everyone
They're called
talks about
the
season
first
6.
and second season.
Yeah, well, even the cliffhanger between season 6 and 7, which has slipped my mind at the moment. I
Descent.
remember being
Time
objectively bad. Yeah.
You talking about
the
Time
one where the
Zero?
Borg get the
Yes,
one where
Time Zero. That one.
The
Yeah.
one where they go back in time to find Data's head.
Yeah.
That one was
Okay.
great. You shut
Part
the heck
1 is
up.
great, but part 2 has its issues.
Should be on an
How did
agony
they get the
booth.
clothes? How did they get the clothes? Did they get
beat
a
up somebody
job?
in an alley. They beat
There
up
you go.
somebody in an alley.
I'll go with you, Wes. Rock and roll, Wes. See, he's helped proving my theory.
I literally just said that, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm not listening to you. You don't matter.
I know,
This guy, Wes
I know you're
matters.
not listening to me.
Wes
because you're-
matters, yeah.
I know. I wouldn't
Road
listen
joins the
to me either.
marquee.
I'm not listening to me
Yes.
right now. Well, I'm sure she has good things waiting for her when she comes back to Starfleet.
Yeah, Road. Everything's gonna work out for Road.
Everything's coming up, Rolaren.
it
Why are
still
you
the
guys
fact
beaming out? What the heck?
She didn't have a good time, did she? Because she turned down a starring role in DS9, right? Wasn't that written? Like,
But think
she
of it
was-
this way: she did turn that down, but she went on the Battlestar, and she
Battlestar.
was great in
Mwah.
Battlestar.
She was great in Battlestar, and I do remember reading something a long time ago where the people behind Star Trek: The Next Generation were almost desperate to get her back on the show, to the point that her agent finally told them, it was like, listen, stop asking. I don't know what changed, what got her back for Preemptive Strike, but if you remember, it was like we hadn't seen that character in like 2 years by that point. So
Well,
maybe
her
it was,
performance was just so good, though. That's why you want her back, because that the show really took advantage of.
I thought the Metron showed up for a second there.
That's what I thought. I was, whoa, oh no,
whoa,
why?
Sparkling uniforms. Did they steal the cloaks from the Superman set? Like,
Maybe.
did they do that? Like, because they're very sparkly and reflective. You know what I
They
mean?
really kind of are.
Like, they held up a giant one.
Ortegas, you must return to the Enterprise and create a harem of men, many men to bed with, and propagate your line. Yes, Ortegas, get them hoes.
I just like the idea the wardrobe brought a giant one and went, oh, no, that was Marlon Brando's. We'll get you a smaller size. There you go.
No, it's okay. That's fine. I'll wear this. It'll be like a 10. Yeah, just aside from the ending, just a good episode. It was just good.
But you know, the problem is, you look at the whole season, this is so disjointed because of this episode.
Really
in a way.
this whole season has just been a cluster fudge. It has.
On a rewatch.
And I know some people really like this season. Some people are saying, yes, this is classic Star Trek season. Well, I don't know what Star Trek you've been watching, but if you enjoy it, that's fine. I'm not going to sit here and say you're wrong, but at the same time, you're wrong.
If you want to compare it to classic Star Trek, it's Star Trek season 3 of the original series.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Or Star Trek the animated series.
It's probably no.
In there. There's some really good.
Yeah,
there are. Just like there's a couple
you love
of
that.
good
Why are you
episodes
slapping
in
it
the
down?
third season. Yeah. There's a couple of good episodes in the third season as well, and there's also
I
some
don't
other
remember.
episodes of the animated series that are not good.
I don't remember both of your opinions, so I'm going to ask you straight up. Did you like Shuttle to Conforti?
I thought it was okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
I think that they focused on the wrong thing. I think there should have been more focus on the Klingon woman who was coming for M'Benga.
Yeah,
because she was the most interesting character.
I think this and that are probably my top 2 so far.
Yeah.
I really liked Wedding Bell Blues. I thought that was a fun episode.
It was good.
That would be my second favorite episode of the season. That one, just because of, and then again, that really comes down to the performance of the actor.
Oh yeah, Rhys Darby was excellent, and I thought Ethan Peck was funny, and that's like that was probably, I think that was the beginning of Nurse Chapel's slow descent to becoming the worst person in the world. Well, but I really liked the guy that got to play Corby. I thought he was really fun.
Yeah. Well, I think that should have been the last of Funny Spock this season. It should have been.
I agree.
Even though I think the after credit scene of 4.5 Vulcans is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
And of course, your favorite line about it's true. Vulcans can be jerks.
Yeah, that's a great line. I'm sorry. That is a great line.
For
anyone who watched Enterprise early on, it's a great line.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But look, I think this will go down, unfortunately, as just being, one giant missed opportunity. Don't play the clip, please. But don't. Next week, though. Wonder what do they do? Is this a cliffhanger? Do they attempt? This could very much be a cliffhanger because they've already shot season 4, right? So
they're working on season 5 right now. They're shooting.
Yeah, episode 2 already.
As few episodes of season 5 is going to take, it should take them a couple of weeks to get done.
Yeah.
You know why?
I'm really hoping with season 5 they go the long route. We get longer episodes. I think this week was the longest episode we've had so far this season. 55 minutes was the length.
Yeah, you could be right.
I enjoyed it. It was well paced. It didn't feel like 55 minutes. It felt like a good amount of time. Well done. Yeah. The only thing I want to see out of the season finale, I want to see 2 things. That's it. 2 things. One, I want my Captain Patel becoming a Gorn. I want my theory to be true. I want it to happen. And 2, I want more Corby. I don't know why, but they've successfully made me like Corby. Yeah.
Well, this is actually our first time. This is the first time in Star Trek history we've actually met Corby.
True.
Because the Corby we met in What Our Little Girl's Made Of was not Corby. It
Good
was.
Call.
I liked him in the first episode they brought him in, but I didn't like him the second time they used him. Like, he gave a good first impression, but I'm like, I don't know about you yet, dude. So, yes, we should bring him back.
Was the second time when he was wanting to raid the tomb, basically?
Yeah,
Oh,
like, he didn't come off
yeah.
the best.
They did kind
Like,
of change his character a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't like. I want the first version we got out of the Wedding Bell Blues. That was the episode where we got introduced to him, right? Yes, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Whole
want more of that
episode was
Corby
just bad.
because that Corby was a likable guy, and I felt sorry for that Corby. No, I did.
No, I
But
get
there
it.
you go.
I agree.
That's
You're right.
that's where I land on it. No, what I want from next week's episode is a decent story. Would be wonderful. Let's put that out there first. Yeah, I want some resolution on Captain Patel too. I'm kind of done with that whole storyline. I think it needs to be done. And what I don't want from next week's episode is any romance. Keep the romance out of the episode. We're done with romance. I don't care which crew member is putting their thing into another. I don't care about any of that stuff. I don't want to know what they're doing. All right, I just give me hard stuff. Just give
Somebody
me.
is
going
to get some hard stuff, apparently.
Yeah, you got to be careful what you're saying there. Rephrase that.
Yeah, no.
Phrasing,
I want
phrasing.
I want science porn. That's all I want. I don't want the
That would be Spock putting his hard thing in something. Yes.
No, science porn is a lot of techno babble. Give me techno babble all over the face, neck, and chest. That's what I want. All right. Okay, I've taken the show again to bad depths. Let's move it on.
Oh, we do nothing but take the show to bad. Joe, I'm so sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, no, Joe knows. He knows better. He's watching this and going,
oh,
why do I tolerate them? Why do I tolerate them? Why did I let him come back on the captain's quadrant? I don't know.
Why did we let Teddy in here?
Well.
My thoughts about the finale is I have a feeling it's going to be another Gorn episode. I feel like the Gorn are the Borg of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. So it's going to be something to do with the Gorn.
No.
I'm thinking Patel will be involved, and yeah, there will be romance. Basically, it's going to be the three things two of three things that we don't want. But yeah, the Patel thing has got to come to a head sooner or later, and season finale, that's the time it's got to come to a head. As far as plus, where's she going to be with the beep beep chair? Incidentally, I think it was kind of funny that the Gorn and Ortegas communicated with each other basically the same way Pike communicates in the future with the beep beeps.
Ha! Beep, 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 beep. That's Morse code.
Ortegas was able to cobble together a better communications device out of a broken tricorder and whatever she found on the planet than Starfleet was able to give Captain Pike in his beep beep chair.
Here's my thought on that. I do have a thought on that. The first thing I thought about when that was happening was Enterprise. And it was when Archer was sent to the far future. And I want to call him Kovich. That's not his name. But when, past Kovich was showing him how to create the little communicator. And he's like, oh, we learned how to do this in high school. And I'm thinking, okay, well, that fits because she knew how to build something, maybe not well, but you're right about the beep beep chair. The beep beep chair thing is so bad because we've seen wheelchaired people in Star Trek. Think back to Discovery. There are shots where there are people in wheelchairs on the ship. And there were not beep beep chairs. So why is he getting a beep beep chair? And why are the burns so bad we can't just magically heal them? And we can grow a limb back. We're going to put your eyes back. But no, you're going to a beep beep chair. So I digress.
Maybe part of his illness is constant explosive diarrhea. So it's a privacy thing.
There you go.
Maybe he's
there. You go. See, I've thought this out, guys.
Maybe he's still in so much pain. He's just cursing, and that's the sensors beeping him out.
I like my diarrhea theory better. I'm all about diarrhea. That's better.
Why not both? Maybe that's why he's cursing.
Yeah, no, he's got his whole body, but it's like MODOK from Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Giant head and a little body.
Oh, that would be a great way to get Patton Oswalt to come back because he did voice MODOK in the Hulu series.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
We need more Doug. Oh, that's what I want the season finale to be. It's just Doug.
Doug.
Doug going about his day.
I want a short track of Doug.
I want a
Now-
long trek with Doug. I think that
Okay,
that Doug should be the subject
Yeah.
of the next made-for-TV movie. Star Trek.
I don't think we're
support
getting
it.
any more of them. Hey, we're not getting any more made-for-TV movies for a while. In fact, it brought up something I mentioned to you that I want to talk about that I'd heard on another podcast called the Tachyon Pulse podcast. It's really great. Just one guy that does it. Definitely recommend it. And he seems to have some ties within Star Trek. And everything he said so far has been legitimate. I preface saying that I have no evidence whether this is real or not. But he went on to say on one of his episodes that the way Skydance are approaching the Star Trek has been very, very interesting. Apparently, as we speak right now, Kurtzman Studio and that production team have been asked by Skydance to start pitching shows to them. What's the next for Star Trek? Under two advisements, they've been directed by Skydance. That is, it must contain Jerry Ryan, and it must be a show that is post Picard season 3. Again, I have no evidence to say what that gentleman is saying is true, and I certainly will refer you to go watch that podcast. But I found that super interesting. The fact that they are looking to completely refresh the franchise, not step on or reboot anything that's done with New Trek, but to stay away from prequel timelines, to stay away from far future timelines, and really focus in on continuing the storyline post-Picard. I don't know what your guys' initial impressions of that are. I mean, personally, I'm excited at that concept.
I think that getting that, I would be more excited to get Star Trek Legacy than I was to get Strange New Worlds, because it's going forward. And I'm sorry, Discovery. I enjoyed Discovery. I enjoy Strange New Worlds, even though this has been a strange new season. I still enjoy it, but I want Trek to go forward. That's why I was happy when Discovery jumped to the 32nd century, and I would be happy to join Captain Seven on the Enterprise G in the future. I just think it would be fantastic.
The other thing was mentioned is that it was requested of Kurtzman's production company to come back storylines involving them. They haven't delivered anything like that. So apparently, you guys may have known that Jerry Ryan was offered a show 18 months ago under the Kurtzman thing, and she said, it's not the right fit, it's not legacy, I don't want to do this. And so it is very likely at this stage, according to this gentleman, that Kurtzman production company will no longer be involved in Star Trek. Hence why we've had mass filming happening at the moment. The contract runs out the middle of next year. June, it's done. The current contract for Kurtzman Studio is done. So that means they had to get everything filmed prior to then. That's why we've had them all back to back. And that's why we've also, where's the Tawny comedy? That I don't think that's happening.
She's a writer on the Starfleet Academy show.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're going to
The
greenlight
first Star Trek
show.
actor to become a staff writer, by the way. So,
well, they were only contracted for 2 seasons for Starfleet Academy, and they have been filmed. They're basically in the can.
Star Trek Prodigy told an amazing story in 2 seasons. So, if that's
And it
what
could be done.
happens with,
And we
if
don't
that's what
know.
happens with Starfleet Academy, I'm not one of those people who roots against a TV show. Because
See, I'm with Greg. That's what I feel like is going to happen. I hope it doesn't. But I feel like they will tend to go into the soap opera elements of those relationships with young people. And that's kind of, I think, would not be something for me. Maybe something for a lot of younger people.
I hope for quality. I hope for originality. And if it does only last 2 seasons, I hope that there are memorable 2 seasons. And if it is a good show, I hope it lasts for more seasons than that.
Yeah, the story's the
Quite
story,
frankly,
right?
We deserve Star Trek shows that go more than just 5 seasons.
I have high hopes for it. I really do. I'm looking forward to Starfleet Academy. I want to see the Doctor. I want to know. I want to know more about what happened to him in the last 800 years. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be great. And you know what? We have no idea which way they're going to go. Isn't a lot of the writers in Starfleet Academy were Discovery writers from the later seasons and then moved straight on to Starfleet Academy, I believe. And I say that in a positive sense.
The only writer I know is Tawny. Yeah.
But
I
that
did
gives
see
me a
her-
bit of positivity because I liked the last couple of seasons of Discovery, and I disliked the first couple a lot. So if that's the same kind of writing team that you're going to go from Discovery, yeah, just hopefully they avoid the predictable, obvious low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
If there was
Uh,
one predictable episode that I want, the only thing I want from Starfleet Academy is I want the backup EMH to make his way home. I want that episode.
Oh,
I want something
you just gave me
where,
the feels.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
I want
what
that.
I want. And I mean, theoretically, it would have happened probably about 100 or 200 years before that,
Yeah,
but the burn happened. So,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. That's going to be the most amazing thing, isn't it? Like I'm sorry to change subjects here, but the best show on television at the moment, sci-fi, is Alien Earth. And
I
without
need to watch
spoiling anything on this week's episode,
I haven't
it was
seen
a great. No, without spoiling it,
This
it's
doesn't
a
work. I'm wearing
standalone.
headphones.
I'm not going to tell you anything except it's side of a self-contained story, and it's brilliant. And if they could do that with the Doctor, so we get his, like you said, we get his backstory at least. Like, how did he get there? I think that would be a riveting episode. You know,
It would be a really good. It would be a good excuse to bring like a Voyager alums in for like a flashback to 30 years after Voyager. You know, maybe like the last time he ever talks
Well,
to
I
Tom Paris,
wonder-
or the last time he ever talks to Janeway or something.
I wonder in that future whether they've got the ability to almost make, hologram like more Doctors in a way, but it is
have like
classic
holographic
characters.
teachers.
Exactly,
Have
exactly.
Well, one of the Starfleet Academy students is a hologram.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, like, this would be a way to have Admiral Kim show up and teach
Yes.
a class, be a guest lecturer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, get the substitute, or the kids will be throwing stuff at his back and stuff. No, but what you could also do is, because if you make the holograms not perfect, like the Doctor, make them a bit, you could actually then do some de-aging stuff and get away with it. Because good de-aging tech is really hard. But if it was kind of like a hologram where it wasn't perfect, it looked a bit, then you could actually have any character retrospectively come in and do moments. You know what
Every
I mean?
hologram we saw on Discovery was glitchy and unperfect. So
There you
Hey,
go.
know what? Let's
Perfect.
put Otoy on it.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Otoy convincingly brought back, young William
Kirk.
Shatner. Yeah,
I've
it was flawless in my opinion.
always thought if you're going to have classroom episodes on Starfleet Academy, what a great way to also re-tackle some philosophical conundrums throughout the shows.
Yeah.
Like the Tuviks. We should have a scene where they're in class and they are debating the ethics of Tuviks. Like and things like that.
Janeway
That-
saved
that's-
2 crew members.
That's a way to get the
Janeway's
member berries going without hopping it. That's the way to do it. We all get the thing, and there we find. Sorry, where did you land on that? Sorry, My Figure Universe.
Oh, Janeway straight up murdered him.
Yeah, she killed. No, yeah, okay, we all agree with that. She's a murderer. She's a murderer.
Tuvix was holding 2 crew members hostage, and all Janeway did was resolve a hostage situation.
See, debate. This is it. We've already written a season 3 episode of Starfleet Academy. Just on that premise alone, we've got it. No, there's the potential in that show to do all that stuff, right? To really go ways without going the predictable low-hanging fruit of, I think she's got a crush on me, He said this behind there. Oh, let's get on a shuttle. Now we're stuck on a planet and we don't know what to do. Well, we're just going to have to work together. None of that stuff. Like, avoid all
They
that.
did that on Discovery. I would
Well,
be
they did it
happy
better
if
on lower
they,
decks. They did it better on lower decks.
I
There you
would
go.
be happy if they did something along the line of the Marvel Starfleet Academy series that they did. It only lasted like 18 issues, and it starred Nog. Nog was one of the cadets, and for the first 3 issues, it was like, this is pretty much what I thought it would be. And then they started going in some very weird directions with it.
Yeah.
Like they ended up killing off one of the main characters suddenly, and then they crippled another one, and it was just like, wow, you're good shit, good thing. I can't wait to see where it goes. Oh yeah, Marvel went bankrupt and it's gone now.
It's gone.
So, would you be pleased if Starfleet Academy went the Walking Dead route and maybe some of these main characters we don't get to see them very long. I mean, like we've seen a teaser, we've seen the cast come out and do their press junket, but what if, like, Bob Blueskin shows up in episode 3 and it's like, Bob Blueskin, we love you. We're glad you're part of the crowd. Oh God, he's dead.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that as long as it serves the plot. I mean, I absolutely loved Himmer. Himmer was my favorite character from the first season. But I understand why they did what they did. I understand why they had to give Uhura that loss, because she needed that motivation, and I think it really helped her character. Now, I would have liked to have kept him around a little bit longer than they did. Or, switched him out with Pelia, who's like super annoying now. I used to like her. Now I don't.
Who is completely disappeared again today in this episode. She was not there at all.
We haven't had Himmer this season, or Bruce Horrick. We haven't had a Bruce Horrick like cameo. He's kind of like the good luck charm. Maybe that's what's wrong with this season.
Maybe.
Oh, that's it. It's not been Horak.
It hasn't been Horak, yeah. You know what I'm also watching at the moment? I've started diving back into Smallville.
Oh.
And I've been diving straight back in, and I've been doing it the way I'm lucky enough that they've got Michael Rosenbaum and Tom Welling do a podcast called Talkville. So I've been able to watch these episodes and then watch the podcast straight after. And watching the Smallville format, maybe not the freak of the week, but there's a lot to love in the way they approach like week-to-week stories. Now, I think if you're writing for Starfleet Academy, maybe just move away from Buffy and Angel and maybe have a look at shows like Smallville and have a look and see the way how they handle their great characters. By the way, it's 20 years old and it still really holds up.
You keep watching Talkville, and eventually you're going to hear me because I'm on there 5 times.
Oh, no joke.
Really?
Are you really?
Wow.
You're doing the questions, are you?
Yeah.
Well, they had someone from Adelaide on there from my hometown, like the other thing. Because here in where I live, sport is massive, football's massive, and our big football team is the Crows.
Oh,
and
really?
then in one of the episodes, they talk about how Lex come down to South Australia and went swimming with the great white sharks, which is a thing you could do. I don't know why you do it, but you can do it.
Crazy billionaires.
Yeah, there you go.
That's because Jack Kevorkian's not around anymore.
No. So, if you look at things to fill in, mate, go to Amazon or wherever you can find Smallville. It's definitely worth going back to.
Oh, yeah.
Very well. Very well.
There we go. Plug for Smallville. Random as hell.
This went into a weird direction. Well, gentlemen, any final thoughts about Terrarium?
Yeah. I wish it wasn't the best episode of the season, but we got a best episode of the season. And I mean that in the sense, if this was mid-range, it would have mean all the other episodes were great. It's also infuriating because they're capable of it now.
Yeah.
Now I know the writers are capable of writing meaningful Star Trek Strange New World plots. So, in a way, it's kind of made me angry too.
It gives me hope for season 4. It makes me hopeful that season 4 will, even though the mistakes are being seen now and 4 is already shot, I'm hopeful that as they were writing 3 and 4, they saw what they had done in 3 and went, even they knew that some of them were bad and they make up for those mistakes.
Yeah.
So,
it's that writer from last week. You see him, I think it was Wes actually posted the writer responding to the negative feedback to 4.5 Vulcans.
Yeah, I pointed that out to him last Sunday on his live broadcast.
Yeah, and I'm in two minds of that because part of me was like, okay, well, that's great that he's facing up and mentioning it. And then I go, well, you kind of acknowledge something you should have already known. Like, I don't understand, like, in Star Trek, if you get that writing gig, there is certain key information. It's an expectation you understand the basics of the lore. And I know Jason's not big on continuity. I am. It's one of my favorite things about Star Trek. So
I want them to follow continuity, but at the same time, I'm not going to sit there and dog on a quality episode because the Enterprise didn't have those type of nacelles. And
I'm not that nitpicky either. You know that. But when it comes to things like 4.5 Vulcans, clearly we're in a different kind of area of not understanding how to write Star Trek.
Most
yeah.
definitely. I honestly, I don't think that the writers of this show are intentionally going out trying to make the show bad. And for
They're
some
not.
reason,
No.
a lot of fans get that in their head. It's like, oh, they're hurting the show on purpose. No, they're not.
No.
I don't think anybody intentionally goes out to write a bad episode. I think that they probably said, hey, wouldn't it be funny if, without realizing how insensitive and cringy the entire thing was. And I'm sure that after the episode was done with and they couldn't do anything about it, I'm sure they looked at it and thought, oh no, we messed up.
Well, put it this
It's
way.
like that
I
scene
keep
in The
saying.
Hangover.
In 2009, Alex Kurtzman was interviewed about his writing on the Star Trek movie. And he famously came out and said, I didn't watch Star Trek, didn't know anything about Star Trek. 4 years later, he's running the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I put it down to that. You need a
Is
Dave
a-
Filoni type. You need a Terry Metalis type. You need a Ira Stephen Bear. You need a Ronald D. Moore. These people who understand the franchise.
We
I'm
definitely
100%
need
with you
Terry
on this.
Metalis in charge.
As a
I think.
mentor role.
Yeah.
And that's
Well,
how
Terry-
you teach. Yeah.
Terry's got nothing going on. Vision's done. Ron D. Moore is currently working on God of War, which
Yeah.
is going to be amazing.
And for all of mankind. For all mankind, season 5.
Yeah, for all
which is
mankind.
incredible.
And plus, I don't know if he's doing the spinoff. I know we got the spinoff.
The
coming,
Russian.
but-
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Russian. From the Russian perspective, which I think is an incredibly smart idea to
Yeah,
do.
it's going to be really good.
What's
I think-
Iris Stephen Bear up to nowadays?
Yeah.
That is, well,
He's
a
got
lot of times
stocks
you
and
see him
beard
popping
dye.
up on podcasts. You know, you see him, he'll
Yeah.
talk, and, you know.
I would
But
even say Brandon Braga. You know, even bring him
Yes.
on board. Bring
Well,
in the old
the
guard.
idea is to mentor the young guys, right? They don't have to stay there for the whole reign of the season, but at least have these guys in the first couple of seasons educating the writers and making them understand what makes Star Trek work.
I just got this mental image of like Ronald D. Moore and Brandon Braga walking into the writers' room as they're breaking a Strange New World episode and just like ripping all the stuff off the walls, throwing it down, lighting it on fire, just going no and walking out.
you want to make me happy? Bring back Cisco. Just give me a Cisco show. You know, even if they can't get Avery Brooks, recast him with a
That's what
younger
I was gonna
person.
say.
You know, like his corporeal body has been reborn, whatever it is. But give me some sort of continuation of the Cisco. I think him just not ever coming back, it's too
Well,
much.
Animated.
I have an answer for all that
Animated.
stuff. No, anthology.
Animated.
Recast, and that story should be a one-story offer anthology Star Trek show. We talk
Animated
about Star Trek
anthology.
Legacy.
Animated.
Forget about the animation. Make a live action. Put your money where your mouth is. Actually flesh out
Animated.
Brian Fuller's original concept. Let's do that. Because that's what it was supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
I think that
You're
Star
right.
Trek needs a show like Star Wars Visions, where we
Yes,
just get
well,
we give Star Trek to one person for 7 minutes and say, go crazy, do whatever you do, continuity don't matter. Do whatever you want. I would love to see the best animation studios and writers go nuts with it.
yeah.
You know, get the guy who did Eon Flux,
Oh.
Peter Chung, get him to do
No,
an
no.
episode.
Get the
Amazing.
blue-eyed samurai team.
Oh,
Yeah, that's who you get. That animation
Oh,
team.
I want to
That's
go
some of
work
the most
for Skydance.
beautiful
I want to
animation.
go work for
Yeah.
Skydance.
No, but
work for
you imagine
Skydance.
all those dead ends could be solved in an anthology TV show. It'd be
Good.
awesome.
Yes.
And it's a way for them to be able to go wherever they want in time without getting stuck in, oh, well, now we've got a prequel show. Now we got this, you know. Isn't that an interesting comment by Greg? What makes Greg think that? I agree with you. I think he didn't enjoy it, but
I
too easy.
don't know. I think that I don't think he. At least my interpretation. I don't know. Greg may know something that I don't. I get the feeling that he was having fun doing it, but I think you said this last week. The director should have pulled him back because it seemed like almost to the point that Anson Mount was making fun of his character rather than just playing it. You know, doing the Beldar Conehead thing.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Greg mentioned about Brennan being stolen away for the Orville. Wasn't that an interesting period of time when we had Discovery and we had Orville at the time? And I got to be honest with you, I was Team Orville in that period.
Oh,
I was watching the first couple of seasons of Orville going, this is next gen. Like the way they lit it, the way they shot it, the way they broke the stories down. Those first couple of seasons were.
It was a
Season
nice,
3.
warm, cozy blanket.
Yeah.
Is what it was.
Season 3 of the Orville was
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, sorry, I meant 1 to 3. Yeah, that was a good season as well. And you know what? That you won't get another one because the biggest problem with the Orville was Seth MacFarlane, rightly so, wrote everything.
Yeah.
And he has such tight control on it, and he's doing a million things at the moment. And that's the biggest shame. And I think every story they had on there, bar a couple, were pretty great. Pretty great. Like
I
would
just love the fact that they called a wormhole the glory hole, and then they
not
kept
saying
that
no about the
terminology.
Orville, Jace.
They just kept that terminology.
Yeah.
Now entering the glory hole. Stop calling it that.
I
had
hope
any,
they lost Rick Berman.
Yeah, that was-
I think, everybody. None of us have said Rick Berman's name should
No.
return at all.
I'm
We're
pretty
very
sure
happy to move on from that.
I'm pretty sure if Rick Berman were to show up on the Star Trek Legacy set, Jerry Ryan would punch him in the face.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you wouldn't get
I'm
her
pretty
back.
Sure.
No.
You know that story I said I have no evidence for. I do believe it because anybody with half a brain knows that Jerry Ryan, like the fact that she's not leading a show like now is again another huge missed opportunity because everyone loves Jerry Ryan. You don't even need to be a Star Trek fan. Don't do it, Jace. You don't need to be a Star Trek fan to love Jerry Ryan. She's universally loved. She is the type of person that brings people in to watch the show.
Yes.
So, yes, the
She's
future.
arguably one of Star Trek's most popular characters.
Oh, yeah.
She's up there with Data and Spock. Just
Yeah,
the most
I-
popular character. And Garrick.
Unlike those characters, though, she has shown true evolution and change as a character. Like, she is not the same as 7 of 9. Yes, Berman's treatment of Terry Farrell and Garrett Wang. Absolutely horrific.
Okay, that should be an episode of our anthology series. Is just Terry Farrell and Garrett Wang in a locked room with Rick Berman. And a
You know when
baseball
they
bat.
did that murder mystery episode early in the season? It should have been around Rick Berman.
Should have been.
Instead of being Roddenberry, it should have been around the horrible things Berman did over his time.
Absolutely.
But we still have to go the fact that he did steer the ship for a long time, and we did, as much as I don't like the dude, we have to recognise that, he did his
Without
job.
Rick Berman, we would not have Star Trek today. And I hate to say it, but it is true. No,
Don't think we
no.
would have got any of the films in the 90s either, I don't think. I mean,
Think we
he
would have, no.
pretty well pushed
No,
them.
Just imagine how sad it would have been if everything would have just ended in 91. When Roddenberry passed away and it was just.
That was
Gosh,
it.
could you imagine how? It was a pretty good TV show, some pretty good movies, and there was some spinoff, and God, it was awful.
You know, I remember 91, and I remember when they were releasing 6, and no one asked for it. No one really was interested in it. The marketing wasn't even that great back then. But, man, like you were the lucky ones to go on opening weekend and realize, oh, my God, this is one of the best ones they'd ever done. Because I float between 2 and 6 a lot of the times. My favorite.
Six is a really.
I don't care about the
really
CGI
good-
Klingon blood. I'm down for it.
You know what? Back in '91, that was
was
cutting edge
cool,
technology.
dude.
Everybody's
It was
looking at it, going, "Wow, look at the Pepto Bismol."
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
And I'm
yeah,
sorry.
but in the. Go on.
Star Trek started the trend of something exploding and having a ringed shockwave come out, and then
Yes, it
everybody
did.
stole it from them after that.
Good one,
Star Wars
George.
included.
Yeah.
Stargate, Star Wars, they all stole that from
All
Star
did it.
Trek. Star Trek was the first one. That's right.
Agreed.
Stargate was
My
really
figure
good.
universe.
No, I was I was thinking about the Pepto Bismol. But no, you're right. No, I love 6. I love that movie.
Well, I love it because it's obviously it's a political kind of thriller as well as a murder mystery. Plus, like,
Really
how do you
philosophical.
write a better sign off for that team who are really aging at that point than that.
Yeah.
Like,
The
it's
only-
just great writing.
The only problem I ever had with 6 was every time I would watch it, I'd watch it alone at night. Everybody was asleep. I was still young, living with my parents, and it would get to the Valkyris part, not Valkyris, Valeris part, and where she's screaming, and I'd be like ready to turn it down. I don't need anybody thinking I'm watching some Vulcan torture porn or something. But
Well, you basically were.
yeah,
It kind of were. Yeah.
shout out to my mom. I saw she was in the chat. So
Oh, lovely. Hi, Mum.
Oh, gentlemen. It has been a privilege and a pleasure for you to have me as a
Been
host
fun.
today.
That-
I agree.
not so
I
much.
agree. You walked right into that, didn't you?
Thanks for
My
having me.
Figure Universe,
agree.
thank you for coming along and joining us. It has been a pleasure. We got to do it again sometime.
Absolutely. A lot of
And
fun.
VHS Jace, it's always a chore, but it's a chore I enjoy.
Yep. One more week. That's all you have to put up for me with one
That's
more
right.
week.
Then I don't ever have to see you again.
Oh, no, you're seeing me again.
Oh, God,
'cause
that's right.
They should
We
come
do-
over and watch us working together twice a week over in the Jason Roy Gaston channel. Where we have a
Yes.
plethora of amazing shows
times
to
a week.
watch.
You make me feel every single one of them. Yeah. But yeah, we have fun over there.
It's
But,
complicated.
I'm not going to plug. I'm not like Joe. I'm not going to plug something on somebody else's show. I am totally not going to plug the Jason Roy Gaston channel on YouTube at Jason Roy Gaston, or the shows The VHS Vault, The Power of J Skull, Filmation Spotlight, Jalapena, or any of those other shows that we do.
Jason, that would be
I
inappropriate.
am not about to encourage everyone to go over there and check out those wonderful, wonderful shows that we pour our hearts into. That would just be in poor taste to plug those shows on the Captain.
It would be, and it would be totally inappropriate for me to talk about Talking Tubi, my show about where I watch horrendous B-grade movies on Tubi and then talk about them. They're so raunchy that they get banned from YouTube. I shouldn't be talking about that either.
Yeah,
and of course, it would be in really bad taste to talk about My Figure Universe's podcast as well.
Yeah,
you shouldn't do that.
I don't even want to start talking about the fact that I have this wonderful podcast that I've started recently called Boosting the Signal, where I have Star Trek fans and others come on and talk about their fandom and promote what's going on in their life and help boost the signal of those that don't always get the opportunities. And great conversations, and I don't want to promote that. No.
Sounds like a great show. Can't wait.
Invited to be on it yet. Oh my goodness. Well, for myself, for VHS Jason, My Figure Universe, thank you. Good night, everybody. Captain Joe Dove will return next week. I'm sorry. We honor our Patreons, HollyMac79, Johannes Borg, and Denise Hill and Joe Saporito. Thank you so much for your support.
Legends.
Squadron.
We honor our patrons. Holly Mack, 79. Johannes Borg. Chris Katulka.